Okay, in my previous video, we talked about how we can work with search managers in Splunk JS, right? And also while doing that, we talked about how we can create single views in Splunk Webframework, or specifically that Splunk JS stack, right? And we created this particular single view in our TMDB dashboard JS, right? And while doing that, we also discussed about how we can give these colors and how we can create this stuff over here as well, right? Now in this video, we'll talk about how we can work with chart views in Splunk JS. Okay, so if I just go to the first dashboard, TMDB first dashboard we created long back. So over there below that single view, we have 3 pie charts over here, right? So today we will be working on these 3 charts over here. Now, as I told in my initial video, like while developing this dashboard, we will try to change some of the requirements over here, so that we will cover almost all the components in Splunk JS framework. So for that, what I did is, like, I'll keep this guy as a pie chart. I will make this as a bar chart or column chart, that will be same, and I will make this as a line chart. So that is what I did it over here as well. I just clone that particular dashboard and I make these changes over here. And this is very simple change, right? You need to go to edit, and from here you just need to select that visualizations from here, right? So that's the change I have done it over there, so that we can cover pie chart, bar chart, and the line chart together in this particular video. Okay, so let's move on. So first we will try to create this pie chart, then we will move to other charts over there. Now to create any kind of chart, okay, so there is a component called chart view. So if we just go to the web framework component reference, so using the chart view, if you see it over here, you can cover this many number of charts, like area chart, bar chart, bubble chart, column chart, even all these gauge charts, and line chart, pie chart, and scattered plot as well. Okay, so for that, what I need to do, basically as we did previously, we will take this library over there in our JS, right? So we'll go over here, we will include that particular JS, correct? And then what we'll see, we will go down. Now for the chart view, these are the different properties. Okay, the one thing is that ID property, as we have seen for other kinds of components in Splunk Web Framework, this is also having a ID. Then there are a lot of charting dot options. So if I just go to this reference, you will be able to understand what I am talking about. So for different charts in Splunk, right? So there are a lot of options available. They have some general chart properties, like what will be the background color and what kind of chart it is. So data count, like how many counts it will show on the chart. Okay, so those type of stuff over here. And there are chart specific settings as well over here. If you see it, like there are area chart related specific settings, bar chart or column chart related specific settings over here. Okay, so all these things you can set from the JS as well. So using this particular options, charting dot, then you have to pick this name. Suppose you want to pick this name over here, so you have to give this whole name, then have to give the value over here. We'll see an example of this one as well today. Okay, now the data part, like how your chart will be rendered, whether it will be like the results, preview, or events. The difference between the events and results is the results will be having the results of after applying that transform commands, and event will be the raw events over here. And when you want to display your chart, whenever the data comes, it will be rendering into the Splunk charts, so that you can choose the preview as well. Okay, so those stuff you can set the drill down. So drill down we will be talking about in a separate video at all. Okay, there is a drill down redirect as well. Suppose when you click on a chart, right? So any portion of the chart. So if let me show you over here. I don't know whether I have implemented over here or not. Okay, so if you click on over here, it is generally what is the default behavior of Splunk. It opens up a search window, right, with the formatted with the filtered data, whatever you are selecting over here, it will give you the results corresponding to this portion of the chart only, right? So those type of settings you can configure using this drill down redirect, so that if you want to turn it off, you can set it to true. Sorry, you can set it to false over here. Okay, otherwise the default behavior is set it to true over there. You can also manage to, or you can basically manipulate the chart heights as well. The default is 250px. You can give a manager ID. As I saw in our previous video, all charts in Splunk actually have their corresponding searches bind to it, so that this is the manager ID of that particular search. Okay, you can also make whether the chart is resizable or not, and you can give what type of chart it is, and other settings. We'll see that one over here. Okay, and method wise, render will be basically drawing the chart in our dashboards. And if you want to set some property of this chart specifically after you create the chart, you have to call this settings dot either to get the property get method, or if you want to set the property, you need to call the settings dot set method. And as we have seen in our searches, right, so search has a lot of events, right? So like search.done, progress, those stuff. For chart also you can have these two events, like click.chart whenever you are clicking any portion of the chart, or click.legend, okay, when you are clicking the legend of the chart over there. Okay, so let us try to create a chart over here. So first is our pie chart, right? So we'll just copy this code and we will start from here only. So we'll paste it over here. So as we are creating the pie chart first, so we'll name it as pie chart. Okay, pie chart. So it will be a new chart view only, because using the chart view we can create all those kinds of charts over there. Okay, so we'll say example pie chart. Now the manager ID. Now let us go back to our first dashboard, right? So this is the one we are trying to create it now, right? The year wise breakup. So let us go to edit, source. So year wise breakup is this guy over here, right? So we have a base search which we already created in our previous video. We will not going to implement the tokens now. Tokens we'll see in separate video. And then we have this dedup ID and stats count by release year, right? So let us create that particular search. So just like we did it over here as a post-process search for the single panel, we will copy that one. Okay, so we will say before the pie chart, so we'll say pie chart search. Okay, pie chart search. This is the new post-process manager, and it will be pie chart. It will be pie chart. The manager ID will be the base search as we have see it for the single view panel, and the post process search will be dedup ID, then stats count by release year, right? So that's the portion we have to add it over here. So that will become the post process search for our pie chart, right? Now as this is the manager ID, sorry, this is the manager ID for our pie chart search, so this will be this one over here. Okay, and the type will be, if I just go back to the documentation, so the type will be pie over here, right? So we'll just copy this guy, we will paste it over here. Okay, these two things we do not need it now, we will see it later. And the EL, as I discussed in our previous video, we have to give the div ID over here, right? So let us go back to our JS dashboard, go to edit, source. Now as this is in a separate row, right? So we will create a new row over here after this row. Okay, we'll say row, it's a new row and it's a new panel over here, right? So it's a new panel. Let's give it a title. So the title will be, we'll keep it in same way, year wise breakup, correct? And let's create a div over here for the pie chart. just like we did in our previous video. Okay, and the ID will be year wise breakup, let's say year wise breakup. Okay, so this will be our div ID, which will be giving over here in the EL part, right? So that's it. So that is enough to create a pie chart in our dashboard. So let us test it out. So we will save it, we will bump it once, and let's try to refresh the dashboard over here. Okay, so it should be creating a new row. Okay, not displayed. Let's see any error is coming up or not in our console. It's saying chart view is not defined. So let us go back over here. So as we did a mistake over here, as we have included this guy, right? So we have to include the chart view as well. Okay, that was the part was missing. So let us bump it again, and let me close this guy over here, and let us do it. Okay, now if you see, it is able to display the pie charts over here. Okay, now in the same row we have to create other two charts as I have shown you over here. One is this bar chart, another is this line chart. So let us quickly create that one as well. Okay, so similar way we will create a bar chart search. Okay, we'll name it as bar chart search, post process search. So ID will be, let's say, bar chart. Manager ID will be base search. The search, so the bar chart is now representing the language wise breakup, right? So if I just go over here, the language wise breakup, the post process search will be stats count by the original language, right? So that is what we will be giving it over here. Okay, so the search is ready. Now to create a bar chart, what you have to do, we can use the similar code over here, right? New chart view, we'll name it as bar chart. Okay, the ID will be, let's say, example bar chart. The search manager ID will be this bar chart, right? The ID of the search. Type will be, for the bar chart, the type is bar, so that is what we'll be doing it over here. Okay, and let us create a div over here as we did it. So it will be a new panel, right? So I'll just copy the whole stuff. So it is language wise breakup, so we will copy it. Okay, so we'll change the title over here, and we will say lang wise breakup. Okay, and this div we will be providing it over here. Okay, so this is done. Now to create a line chart, similar way. Okay, so this is a line chart search, and the ID will be line chart. And what that line chart is actually depicting, it is depicting the genre wise breakup, right? So if I just go over here, so the post process search is stats count by genre ID, right? So that is what we will be providing it over here. Okay, and the similar way as we did for bar chart and pie chart, so you have to create the line chart as well. So line chart, new chart view, so let's say its ID is example line chart. Manager ID, it will be this guy over here, the post process search we created for the line chart. Okay, type will be, if I just go back to the documentation, that for line chart the type will be line, so we will just copy that, we will paste it over here. And similar way we will create another panel over here in the same row. If you are seeing, I am not creating a new row over here, I am just creating the Okay, I'm creating the all the panels in same row only. Okay, so this is my genre wise breakup. So let us give that one over here. Okay, and div id will be genre wise breakup. Okay, so our dashboard is completed. Let us save it. I think I saved, no, I did not save it. So let us save it and let us try to bump it again. Okay, so if I just refresh this dashboard now, so it should be giving all this. Okay, but it came over here. So let me see if I did some mistake over here or not. Okay, let me see the JS again. If I see the line chart, okay, here I have given the same div ID as the language chart over there. That means the bar chart over there. So that's why it was rendering this line chart same way in the same place in the bar chart only. So as we created a separate div genre wise breakup for our line chart, so we'll be giving it over here. Okay, so that was the mistake we did, so we will rectify it now. We will cancel it over here, no changes needed over here. So if everything is fine, we should be able to see the line chart over here, the bar chart over here, and the pie chart over here. Okay, so we created 3 different kinds of chart in a single row. Okay, now let us try to see if we can access some of the settings, like as we discussed when we are initially discussing this chart view. We will try to see some of these. We try to set some of the settings over here using this one, and we'll try to see some of the how we can basically respond to this events over here. Okay, now if I just go back over here, if you see this bar chart, if you want to basically increase the spacing between this bar over here, right? So there is a property. So if I just go over here for the bar chart properties, okay, so there is a property called charting.chart.bar spacing. Okay, I'm just giving you an example over here. This same code can be used to set any of the properties over here. Okay, suppose I want to increase the default spacing is 1. Suppose I want to increase to 5 over here. How we will do it? So we will do the same way. This is the way you can set a property over here. Okay, even I could have set the property when I created this bar chart over here as well, same way. Okay, but I choose to do this one so that I can demo this one. That's all, nothing else. So I just copied that one from the documentation. So this is our bar chart variable, right? So I'll say bar chart dot settings dot set. What is my property name? My property name is, if I just go over here, charting.chart.bar spacing, right? So I'll just copy that one over here. Okay, and what is the value I'll be giving? I'll be giving the value as 5 over here, 5 over here. Okay, so this will be sufficient for the bar spacing. So let us test it out. So I'll just bump it once, and if you see this current spacing, so after that particular change, the spacing will be little bit bigger over here, as you can see it. Okay, now let us try to handle an event over here when we click on the bar, right? So let us try to see it first. When I click it now on a particular bar, if you see, Splunk already redirecting me to a search with those settings over here. Okay, now I do not want to do this. Now this is specific behavior when we talk about the drill down. Okay, I'm just setting the ground over here. When we'll talk about drill down, we will explore it more over there. Okay, so I do not want to redirect to this page over here when I am clicking the bar chart. I want, as we did it in normal XML drill down. If you are not sure about the drill down part, I created another video for drill downs. Maybe I'll be providing you the link over here. Check it out. Okay, so I just wanted to set some token or something over here. Okay, so for that, what I need to do, we need to basically handle that event. So what will be the event over here? This is the event when I am clicking on the chart, right? So this event will be fired when the chart is clicked over here. Okay, now when the chart is clicked, it also associate with some data, like which portion of the chart you clicked over there, right? So that data is important to take further actions, right? So I will just copy this guy over here. If you see respond to a click event, I'll just copy this. I will paste it over here. So this is our bar chart. We created the same variable. Now this is the event name as we have seen in the documentation. Now this is important, e.prevent default. Okay, so that means this will prevent the redirecting to the search app first, and this e holds lot of informations, like the whenever we talked about a bar, right? So let me go back over here. Okay, in our dashboard, so this bars are showing up the count of that original language en over here, right? So these informations will be needed because based on this we will be taking the further actions, right? So e will be holding those informations, so that's why we will just do a console.log and see what e holds over here. Okay, we will save it, we will bump it once, we will refresh the dashboard once. Okay, so let us open our console and see how it is responding over here. Okay, F12. Now previously when I was clicking on this bar, it was redirecting me to the search, right? And in the JS now we have prevented that one, so that's why this prevent default. Okay, so if I just click over here, redirecting me to the search, and it also basically printed out the content of the e, and if you see it over here, it has the original language, it has the count, and what is the value over here, like the name 2, just like we have in our drill down properties, right? The name 2, right? The val 2, those things, right? So this similar kind of informations it is having as well, right? Now if you want to access it, how you will do it? e.name over here, right? So suppose I wanted to access the name of that original language, e.name, right? So if I just bump now and refresh it, so whenever I'll click on this chart now, it will give me the original language, that means our y-axis value, y-axis name basically over here. Okay, if you want to get the counts and all, similar properties are available. Just check out the e, and based on that you can take those values over there. Okay, now let me close this one. Now if you see, this is the chart this is the events when we are clicking on the chart, right? When we are clicking on this legends over here, it is behaving in the same way, right? So we want to perform the same stuff over here. Okay, so let us do it for our line chart over here. Okay, we will copy this code. Okay, now after creating the line chart, so this is our line chart variable, right? So this is the one, and what will be the event fired when we are clicking on the legend? This guy, right? Fired when the legend is clicked. So we'll copy this, we will handle this event, and we will handle in same way, right? So we will call this e.prevent default so that it will not redirect to the search app, and then we will console.log that e to see the informations it is having related to the legends over there, right? Now let us try to bump it and refresh the dashboard. Okay, and let us go to our console, and if I just click on this legend over here, if you see, it is not redirecting to the search app with the search string. It is also giving me this e details, right? The name 2 is count over here, that's our y-axis name over here, and similar stuff over here. Okay, so this is how you can create any charts. Like, you have to be careful when we talk about any chart. So using the chart view, you can handle basically this many charts over there. Okay, because for tables it has separate visualization, a separate component, which we'll be seeing in next video. Okay, and but for other charts, this should be sufficient enough over here. Okay, so we saw how to work with charts view in this video. In the next video, let us talk about the table view, and I can tell you this that going to be a very interesting one. Okay, see you in next video.